Welcome to Macrobiotic's Muse, where we explore the power of food and its impact on our well-being. Today we're diving into a fascinating concept in the world of macrobiotics, the 7 levels of eating. Have you ever wondered how your eating habits affect not just your body, but your mind and spirit? Stick around, because this video could transform the way you think about food forever. We're going to break down each level, understand its implications, and see where we land on this spectrum. All right, let's talk about level 1, mechanical eating. Picture this. You're a baby, freshly brought into the world. All you know is hunger and the instinct to eat. You don't overthink it, you just eat. Now, fast forward to adulthood. Many of us are still stuck in this autopilot mode. We grab whatever's convenient, whatever's fastest, without a second thought to what we're putting into our bodies. Think about those late-night fast food runs, those bags of chips devoured mindlessly while watching TV. That's mechanical eating. It's driven by habit, convenience, and often a lack of awareness. We're not truly tasting or appreciating the food, we're just consuming it. And unfortunately, this type of eating, often characterized by processed foods, sugary drinks, and unhealthy snacks, can have serious consequences for our health in the long run. It's like driving a car without ever stopping for gas or a checkup. Eventually, it's going to break down. Becoming aware of our mechanical eating habits is the first step towards change. So if you find yourself constantly reaching for unhealthy foods without thinking, don't beat yourself up. Just take a moment to acknowledge it and ask yourself, is this truly serving my body? Let's move on to level 2, sensory eating. This is where things get a bit more interesting. At this level, we're no longer just eating to survive, we're eating for pleasure. We're drawn to foods that tantalize our taste buds, that smell divine, that have a satisfying crunch or creaminess. Think of the gooey goodness of a melted cheese pizza, the rich aroma of freshly baked cookies, the refreshing burst of flavor in a scoop of ice cream. Sensory eating is all about indulging our senses, and there's nothing inherently wrong with enjoying our food. In fact, it's an important part of a healthy relationship with what we eat. But the food industry knows exactly how to exploit our sensory desires. They pump our foods full of sugar, salt, and artificial flavors, creating addictive combinations that keep us coming back for more. This constant overstimulation of our senses can lead to overeating, weight gain, and a host of health problems down the line. So how do we strike a balance between enjoying our food and not letting our senses control our choices? It's about being mindful of the flavors and textures we're drawn to and finding healthier ways to satisfy those cravings. Now let's delve into level 3, sentimental or emotional eating. This is where food becomes more than just fuel or sensory pleasure. It becomes intertwined with our emotions, our memories, and our social connections. Think about it. How often do we gather around a table with loved ones to share a meal and create lasting memories? How often do we reach for a comforting bowl of soup or a slice of our favorite pie when we're feeling down or stressed? Food has a remarkable ability to evoke emotions, to transport us back to cherished moments, and to connect us with others. But just like with sensory eating, emotional eating can also have a downside. When we consistently turn to food for comfort or to numb our feelings, it can become a coping mechanism that prevents us from addressing the root causes of our emotional distress. We might overeat during times of stress, sadness, or boredom, using food as a temporary escape from our problems. And while those few bites of chocolate cake might provide a fleeting sense of relief, they don't address the underlying emotional issues that are driving our behavior. The key to navigating this level is to become aware of our emotional triggers and to find healthier ways to cope with stress, sadness, and other challenging emotions. Let's move on to level 4, intellectual eating. This is where things start to shift from our emotional and sensory experiences to a more analytical and knowledge-based approach to food. At this level, we're no longer just eating based on instinct, pleasure, or emotion. We're making conscious choices based on nutritional information, dietary guidelines, and expert recommendations. We read books and articles about the latest diet trends. We meticulously track our calories and macros, and we carefully choose foods that align with specific health goals. We become experts at deciphering food labels, understanding portion sizes, and navigating the ever-changing landscape of nutritional advice. And while there's nothing inherently wrong with seeking knowledge and making informed choices about our health, intellectual eating can sometimes become overly restrictive and disconnected from our body's innate wisdom. We might become so focused on following the perfect diet that we lose sight of the joy and pleasure of eating. The key to finding balance at this level is to use knowledge as a guide, not a dictator. It's about listening to our bodies, honoring our individual needs, and finding an approach to eating that feels sustainable and enjoyable in the long run. Level 5 Social Eating, the status symbol. Now, let's explore Level 5 Social Eating. This level goes beyond individual choices and delves into the realm of social dynamics, cultural norms, and economic status. At this level, food becomes a symbol of our place in society, a way to express our identity, and a tool for social connection and networking. Think about it. We often choose restaurants based on their ambience, their reputation, and the type of crowd they attract. We might order a fancy bottle of wine at a business dinner to impress our clients, or opt for the most Instagrammable dish at a trendy brunch spot to showcase our social status. And while there's nothing inherently wrong with enjoying a nice meal out or celebrating special occasions with friends, social eating can sometimes lead to overconsumption, unhealthy choices, and a disconnect from our body's natural hunger and fullness cues. We might feel pressured to keep up with the pace of a multi-course meal, even if we're already feeling full. The key to navigating this level is to be mindful of the social pressures that influence our eating habits, and to make choices that align with our values, our budget, and our overall well-being. Level 6. Ideological Eating, the Power of Belief. Let's move on to Level 6, Ideological Eating. This is where our food choices become deeply intertwined with our belief systems, our spiritual practices, and our ethical values. At this level, we're not just eating for nourishment, pleasure, or social connection. We're making conscious choices that reflect our worldview and our commitment to a particular philosophy or cause. We might adopt a vegetarian or vegan diet out of compassion for animals and a desire to reduce our environmental impact. We might follow a specific dietary approach such as Ayurveda or traditional Chinese medicine that aligns with our spiritual beliefs and our understanding of the interconnectedness of mind, body, and spirit. And while there's nothing inherently wrong with making conscious choices that align with our values, ideological eating can sometimes lead to rigidity, judgment, and a sense of moral superiority. We might become overly critical of others who don't share our dietary beliefs or feel guilty if we deviate from our chosen path, even on occasion. The key to finding balance at this level is to approach our food choices with compassion, both for ourselves and for others. Level 7. Free Eating, the Ultimate Harmony. Finally, we arrive at Level 7. Free Eating. This isn't about eating whatever we want, whenever we want. It's about reaching a level of deep self-awareness, intuition, and harmony with our bodies and the natural world. At this level, we've moved beyond the need for rigid rules, external validation, or moral judgment. We eat intuitively, listening to our body's natural hunger and fullness cues. We choose foods that nourish our bodies, minds, and spirits, paying attention to how different foods make us feel. We appreciate the interconnectedness of all living things, recognizing that our food choices have an impact on the environment and the well-being of others. Free eating is about finding a sense of peace and balance with food, free from guilt, shame, or obsession. It's about trusting our inner wisdom, honoring our individual needs, and making choices that support our overall health and well-being. And when we approach eating from a place of love, respect, and gratitude, we unlock a world of possibilities for vibrant health and well-being. Outro the journey to mindful eating. So there you have it, the 7 levels of eating. Where do you find yourself on this spectrum? Are you ready to elevate your eating habits and embrace a more mindful approach to food? If so, make sure to subscribe for more insights on how to live a healthier, more balanced life. Also, don't forget to hit that like button if you found this video helpful and share it with someone who could benefit from this knowledge. Remember, it's not about striving for perfection or judging yourself for past choices. It's about cultivating awareness, understanding your own unique relationship with food, and making gradual shifts towards a more mindful and harmonious way of eating. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep striving for balance, health, and happiness through mindful eating.